Hey everyone, what's going on? The T and Mortgage podcast with your co-host Norm Triever and the man himself, John Coleman. How are you today, John?
Norm, will you stop? You're making me blush here. How are you keeping
Yeah,
everyone?
yeah, we're doing great and great to be on the podcast again. We have something really good for you guys today on T and Mortgage number 32, the 32nd episode. And John, you recently had a custom mortgage calculator built for your website. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's something that's been on the to-do list for a long time at this point. Because obviously, as you know, we do the roadmap that gives everyone an understanding of where they are and what they might need to do to get the home they're looking for. But I suppose people are always in this world we live in are thirsty for information quickly, so what we've done is we've obviously added this to the website to give people a an understanding of A, how much they qualify for, B, and then what the likely repayments would be based on that. So there's two different calculators to calculate those to give people that information immediately, you know.
Yeah, and you're right. In this day and age, people want some answers. They want some starting info, something to get going and just have a rough idea immediately. They don't want to wait for, an appointment. They don't want to wait till someone gets back to them in a day or two. So I know you're going to impress upon everyone that this is not an approval. It's not set in stone. It's just basically an estimate based on the information they put in.
Yeah, and let me kind of describe it in these terms, right? Because I think it's best. Obviously, we respond very quickly, and if
Yeah.
someone inquires to us, we're back to them within a day, and we're giving them the roadmap within another day, so they get a full blown understanding in the minute detail that is really, really required. But getting someone ready or getting yourself a proper understanding, I suppose part one is, what in theory, how much will the bank lend me, right? And again, the devil will then be in the detail, right? So that this calculator will give you very much a very rough and ready ballpark as to what you could qualify for. Okay. Then the second part is, well, how much is that likely to cost? Now, as you know, rates can change, and it's not the rates that are available today, but the rates when you're actually coming to close the deal. But in real terms, you still need to sense check yourself. Okay, I might qualify for 500,000 or something crazy like that, but if it's going to cost me €3,000 per month, okay, well, there's a kind of a right. Well, maybe I don't want to be borrowing 500,000, and you can manipulate your own thoughts around that, and
Mhm.
it's a tool for a preliminary education. The
Yeah.
roadmap is a
Yeah.
lot more detailed, and it's a lot more customized to our clients' individual set of circumstances.
100%. Yeah, I definitely understand that. And so if it's okay with you, let's pull up the website and we could walk them through it. And maybe you could give couple notes or some high level
Yeah,
analysis as we go. I think I'll
excellent.
edit this out, but I got to share the screen.
Okay, we can start from here. So, Norm, the first one that people want to see really is always going to be, well, how much is it going to cost me per month? So you click
Mhm.
on that, um, basically the link there, and you put in you're looking to buy a property, say for 500,000, and you're looking to borrow 450. Okay, um,
Mhm.
and the years you're 35 years of age, and say you want to do this over 30 years. Now you could probably do it longer. The best rate in the market currently is 3.1%. Okay, um, so that will be update that as things stand. That's the best fixed rate. There is a slightly lower rate out there, but kind of
Mhm.
we're using that rate rather than anything else. So say your next birthday is 36. Just put in this figure here of combined earning is 150,000. That's very high, but that it might be a combined to allow you to borrow that amount. Well, actually, 125,000 would get you to the point of being able to borrow. What am I doing? I'm managing to break the internet here, mate.
There we go.
There we go. Right, and then just put in the. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll put in zero here for the second app because you
For
only
the
would
second
need.
applicant. Okay.
Yeah, and age again, we'll just say 30. Okay, and we'll press calculate. So that would give you very much a based
Wow.
figure there of what your repayments would be, about 1,920 per month. So that's how quickly they would get this information, right? Obviously, then if they want the full roadmap, they can fill that information in and submit it, and then it will come to us, right?
Hmm.
So that's, again, remember, buying a house is very much a journey. So you don't wake up and are ready, but you might think today, oh yeah, when the next 6 to 12 months, I'd like to buy a house, get an understanding for yourself as to what your repayments would be, and then get an understanding of yourself of what you might likely to borrow. Now, I personally believe, like, obviously in the business, you want to be dealing with people that are ready right now. But in real terms, and you know how strongly I believe in this, there's no such time as too early to start getting
Yeah.
yourself understanding where you are and understanding what you might need to do. Like, we start talking to people today and they mightn't be ready for 18 months, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I firmly believe, from a business point of view, we do a good enough job helping people get ready that whenever the time is right, they'll then be happy for us to represent them. And that's my business kind of ethos, shall we say. So, but
Hmm.
so some people are very kind of, they don't want to waste people's time, if that makes any sense. And they're very, very correct. But my view on this will be very simple. You're not wasting our time. You're educating, and that's part of what we offer. It's part of the service that we offer. But if for anyone who just wants to kind of get an understanding as to where they're at without having to have a conversation with someone at this moment in time, they might be too busy, so they don't think, oh well, I won't really be looking at this for another 6 to 9 months. But I'd like to know ballpark where I stand. The next kind of piece is, okay, well, I now know what it would be payment if I could borrow that 450, right? But how much would the banks actually give me? And that's the sort of the
Mm.
next part um of the jigsaw, shall we say. So
So you have
um
that calculator as well on the
yeah, and I'm
website.
just bringing this up here now, right? So let's take that previous example and just say they're both earning so that was one of the guys was earning 125,
Hmm.
and we're putting in here, this is because this would be, and this is where there is a difference. Some of the banks will lend, and this is where the nuances, are there bonuses, are there overtime, is
Yeah.
there shift allowance? So it's
Commission,
a commission.
seasonal,
So
right?
it's the variable piece that creates the sort of uncertainty, or creates the sort of, well,
Mm.
there's no one bank will lend the exact same amount because they have different rules around variable pay. They have different rules around what age you can go for. They have different rules around if the number of kids. So there's a whole heap of different things, but this is very much um, a very accurate ballpark figure. But as I said, there's not there's nothing better than the customized roadmap. So let's just, for the sake of this conversation, put in um, not
It's
working
applicant two, so
for,
that
yeah,
would be
applicant two isn't working, shall we say? Okay. And we put in
no,
zero.
that's applicant one you put not working.
Did I? No, I did, and we'll put it down as PAYE. An
Yep.
applicant two, you see those that classes are really working. You're
Nah.
fine. uh, Applicant two is not working, right? And then we just press calculate, right there.
Ah, look at that.
Now some banks might go crazy, right? Depending on and that gives you a maximum figure, right? But
Yep.
sometimes that might be slightly off because it's based on the no income in here. Um, so you're looking at being able to borrow 500,000 will be the minimum.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and that would be ultimately what you want. But if you're buying a house for 500,000, it is subject to 90% basically. Okay. Um, but I then would always encourage people to get the personalized roadmap, because that's then you're getting into really the granular information, and you're going to get the much more kind of absolute figure as to where you stand. Okay.
Wonderful. That's great. And why don't you show again on the website how to get to calculators? So
Right.
of
So you're
course,
in
just
home.
on the yeah.
Yeah. Great question. No, you're on home. Then go into your calculators, and then there's choice mortgage calculator. How much can I borrow?
And they
And
usually want to start. It doesn't matter which one they start with.
no, it doesn't. They can pick either one. They
Yeah.
just go into calculators to bring it up, and then they can uh, there's click on that one there, mortgage calculator, and how much can I borrow?
Okay. Nice and easy. And that
Uh,
form to the right, apply for a mortgage, of course,
they
leads
can
them
fill in
to get
that,
the road. Yeah,
or
that
if they
gets them
want
the
to, that
roadmap.
will just tell us that they're interested in having a chat, and we can tease out um, the minute detail on a call. Obviously, I think we have on our homepage, we have the apply now, I think is the button for the full roadmap, if my memory is right. There you go. So there's the actual fact
Yep.
find, and they can fill all that in, and they'll get the roadmap immediately for all of this,
That's fantastic. Yeah. Some great tools and resources available for people. And like you said, no one wakes up and they're ready. It's a process and you walk them through that and make sure that they're going to get a great mortgage so they could get a great property. So this is very
Well,
helpful.
yeah, well, that's the plan. It's like, as I said, I always, I think I've said this to you before. Maybe I shouldn't say it publicly, but I tell people, view us or view me as the school teacher you didn't like at school, right? But that you knew in the back of your head they were talking sense. And that really is our
Yeah.
role, right? Our role here is an education role. We're not always going to tell you what you want to hear, but we'll tell you what you need to know. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how we operate, and that's how we do business, but with empathy as well, obviously, because ultimately buying a home is very, very emotional, and it's one of the biggest things you'll do in your life. And I think I've said this to you before, that when I bought my first house and I was a broker for a year, I got sick with the thought of what I was
Yeah.
doing. It's again, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is so outside my comfort zone. What am I thinking? Right. And then I just had to focus on what the repayments were, rather than, because if you think about the number that you're borrowing, you mightn't get out of bed to the I owe
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
level of money. So
Then again,
just
if
focus.
you add up side by side that scenario of owning a home and paying what you're going to be paying in mortgage every month for 30 years, and then you on the other side of the ledger look at what you're wasting on rent every month with nothing to show for it, usually over time, owning a property, of
Yeah,
course, is the big winner.
yes, and but do you know who it's the biggest winner for? And as I said, I always, buying a home for me is not, and I probably contradict a lot of experts out there. People will say, oh, it's the biggest investment you'll make in your life. I fundamentally disagree with that. My view on buying a home is you're buying it to make your life better. Is it
Mm,
near your job? Is it near your family? Is it near schools? Is it near your hobbies? It's for your life, right? It may well be the best investment you make for your future generation or your current kids or whatever, because they'll benefit from you buying a home. But for you, it's does it make your life better? We're
mhm.
only on this
Yeah.
planet for a limited period of time, and the choices you make kind of are to help your journey. Yes, your future generation will benefit from you buying a home for sure, but I strongly believe that yes, buying a home is a great aspiration, it's a great goal, but personal happiness is far more important. So
Yeah.
if the house you were going to buy was going to bring a lot of stress or a lot of make your life more difficult, I'd be
Yeah.
saying rent where you want to live.
Don't
And I
do it.
know
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to talk myself out of business here, but um,
Or if
I
your job
fundamentally,
is going to be relocating you in a year or something, it's like it's lifestyle
yeah.
factors just as much, if not more, than the financial. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always tell people to view that first and foremost, that you're buying a home, and try to take that view rather than I have to buy a house at all cost, right? And that's it. It can sometimes be all consuming for people, and it's, well, as I said, personal happiness is the greatest gift anyone can have in life. So um, it doesn't have to be about buying a home. Clearly, I want people to buy homes because that's the business we're in. But I have a long term view
When
on
it's right
people.
for them, of course, when
Yeah,
it's
when
right
it's
for
right
them,
for
you
them.
you
Yeah.
you have enough business and enough, you do a great job and have so many referrals and so it's not like you ever need to talk someone into it. Of course, that's not how you do business. But no, I think this is great and useful for people, and now people can visualize what they'll get and the process, how easy it is of calculating a couple basic things on the website. So, thank you for walking us through this, John.
Not a problem. Thanks. It was a good idea of yours to do this. No, as I said, it's been on my list to get on the website for a long time, and thankfully we've managed to do it now to help people. But it's more of a preliminary tool to get people
Yeah,
kind of sort of initially educated, but the devil is always in the detail.
absolutely. Well, thank you, everyone. TN Mortgage Podcast number 32. And very soon we'll come back and maybe we'll do in a future episode the whole mortgage fact find we could walk through and then they could see what a roadmap looks like. I think that would
That's a really
probably
good
be of
idea. Yeah.
value. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would certainly yeah. God, you're giving me a lot of homework, but happy to share that. That's a very useful exercise, and it's one, obviously it is the cornerstone of how we help educate people in terms of them understanding where they're at and what they have to do.
Yeah. So let's pinpoint that for next month, huh? We'll walk through the roadmap.
Okay, well, let's see. It sounds like a good plan at this moment in time. That's for sure.
Well,
Maybe
at
we'll
least
have
we got this one in the books, huh?
absolutely.
All right,
Brilliant.
everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching and subscribing. And of course, if you need any help or any information or want to get started with these calculators or application, John Coleman, JC Mortgages.
Brilliant. Thanks, everyone. Hope to hear from you all soon, and we'll be back this time next month.